This program features live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.
This is so amazing. You can see how close he is to us.
That is insane!
Standing by.
Hello and welcome to the Masai Mara. As you can see, I am sitting with the Sausage Tree Pride.
This is Safari Live.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to your sunrise safari today. Today we're starting here at and beyond Ngala. Be with myself, Sean. We got Marcel behind the camera. Quite a warm morning, actually. About 21 degrees Celsius, about 69 degrees Fahrenheit. And please remember, interact with us throughout the day. Questions, comments on Twitter with the @WildEarth. And on the YouTube channel, #FC, or the other way around. The other way around. It's @FC on YouTube and #WildEarth on the Twitter page. But yeah, looking forward to your questions. This morning, you can see here we have found a lion. Now, if you'll remember from last night, we had the Birmingham Pride here in the river. So where they were was a little bit further behind us, not far, maybe 100 meters or so behind us. And as we were heading out this morning, we thought, let's have a look, see if anyone's still there. And we found this one. So this is the young male. And the one that's been hanging around with his sister quite a lot recently. And so far, we have only seen him. So it looks like maybe the rest of the pride moved off. I was wondering, he did stand up and walk. And he didn't have any injuries. I thought maybe he had a fight last night. Marcel said he heard a little bit of a commotion. Now the Tete Cap's not very far. It's maybe 400 or 500 meters behind this lion. So we can hear it from the camp. And Marcel said yes, he did hear some fighting last night. But luckily this guy doesn't seem injured. He is my favorite lion, so I'm glad he is not injured. So maybe the rest of the pride just got up, they moved off. The males did growl at him, maybe charged him, had a bit of a tussle. Nothing too serious though. So he decided to stay here and hang back. So the rest of the pride, not sure where exactly they went. We're hoping now you might get up, you might walk, you might do something. So we're going to spend some time here. It's heating up a bit, so we'll wait to see if he does get up, see if he joins up with the pride. In the meantime, we're going to send you across to Juma for a good morning over there.
Good morning, and welcome
to Juma Game Reserve. We have a very eerie, misty morning in front of us. You're looking at Quarantine, one of my favourite places on the reserve, and the mist is surrounding us. My name is Lauren. I have Owen on camera today, and the two of us are actually just sitting, appreciating Quarantine, listening, smelling, looking to see if we can see signs of anyone. This area right in front of you is a very productive area. We can get a lot of sign, or pick up on a lot of signs of movements of animals during the night here, and that's exactly what we're doing. Now, of course, I'm sure Sean told you, but this is your live safari, your sunrise safari, so please do talk to us. Send in all your good vibes, as well as questions and comments, and hope that we find some animals today. Sean, of course, has already succeeded with his animal find. Now, just this branch over here, Owen, was where we found Klalamba yesterday. And just right here, she was just sitting perfectly on this log when we first found her. And buried deep in Quarantine. Yep, there you go. This log here.
We should probably prepare to move fairly quickly.
Wildearth presents Safari Spotlight, your front row seat to the wonders of the wild. Join our expert naturalists each week as they guide you on an unforgettable journey through the heart of nature.
Looks like this female came out here.
What a privilege to be here.
Subscribe to the Wildearth YouTube channel and never miss a moment of the adventure. Wildearth, connecting with nature. Get ready for an adventure of a lifetime. Wildearth Travel is proud to launch a brand new grand tour. Backed by popular demand, join us for an unforgettable experience where you'll meet Wildearth presenters from past and present, participate in an exclusive rhino conservation project, and even take a masterclass in wildlife filming. And of course, you'll get up close and personal with your favorite animal characters. Book your spot now and dive into the wild with Wildearth Travel. Not everyone gets excited to hear a leopard chuff, spot a pangolin, or see a real impala rut. But if you are wild about the wild, you can become part of a community of like-minded nature lovers and share authentic wildlife experiences with the world. Join the Explorers Club and you will also enjoy the many benefits that come with it too. Wildearth Explorers, it's in your nature.
But I missed it. My comms completely broke up there. One more time, Louise, and I will answer your question. Alicia? Alicia, I have no idea. Possibly Louise can help me. I have done a whole winter here. Maybe 12 degrees Celsius. I really don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, I'm afraid. Oh, Louise is saying 9 in the morning, and that's really cold for here. Trust me, I know cold weather, but 9 degrees Celsius for this area is very, very cold in the morning. I remember John Dre, one of our old cameramen, telling me a story about when it dropped to 0 here. But this was a while ago, a long, long time ago. In the winter, it dropped to 0. So it can get really, really cold, and we are up. It's very hard to get out of your bed on those mornings, and we're up. We have hats on, scarves on, gloves on, thermals, hot water bottles, blankets. Yes, But of course, winter is perfect to view animals. It's not thick. You can see for miles. You'll be able to see right through here and right across here. So of course, in the winter, normally we have great sightings with all our characters, and we just sit there in the cold. Try and keep warm, as our characters most likely sleep, and they also try to keep warm. But yes, it can get very, very cold in winter, and it's turning now. I think we're in the transition period, which would essentially be autumn, but we don't really have autumn here. Winter is coming. Okay, I'm going to bumble on and hope that I find something entertaining on this road. And as I do that, Mr. Hendry would like to say good morning.
Good morning and hello. We are in the misty north this morning. We have seen one side-striped jackal that absconded into the thick grass and mist, and that's about all so far. It's marvellous to be out again, hoping to find some kitties today, but yeah, you know, in current form, I'll take a few termites. Please keep talking to us using the hashtag SafariLIVE, otherwise the YouTube chat stream or Twitch chat streams will work just as well. I will also tell you that David is on camera today. There he is. Isn't it a magnificent camera operating thumb? Just driving very back. It was a side-striped jackal pitches up here to say good morning to you, or if we have seen the last striped jackal. I've come onto the northern boundary in the hopes on earth that lion pride went from yesterday, but will lift in about 40, and then the low felt will follow. I wonder. In his line, he gets slightly dodgy.
We are still here with this young male. Now, as you can see, he hasn't done much. He opened his eyes briefly. He heard a noise and then decided it wasn't worth his effort, so closed them again. Well, I believe they're saying it's pretty misty across Ajuma. So we got a little bit of mist. There's a slight little mist bank coming in, but it's not too bad. The sun's coming up now. It's going to burn through that very, very quickly. Although I do actually quite enjoy a misty morning. Like if James can find the cats he's looking for, you see them walking out of the mist. Beautiful pictures. But here we're playing the waiting game, the patience game. We're sitting, we're going to see if this male does anything. I'm hoping just off back to the right hand side of the line. I don't know if you can see through the trees, the sun starting to come out. Very, very slowly. You can see those clouds brightening up a bit there. So the sun's coming out. I think it's going to be hot when it does come out. And as soon as it does come out, this lion here is going to get very hot. And hopefully get up and head towards one of these banks. So we are going to watch, yes, that pretty, pretty sky. It's always pretty. I always tell my guests that with the clouds, it makes it so much prettier. Because the clouds capture the light. They capture that sunrise. There's no clouds, you know, you just got a whole lot of blue. Now you got a bit of pink, a bit of orange, a bit of yellow. And then you still got the lion. Okay, so we got a question from Mary. I think it's Mary DeLurker. And she wants to know, how long has this riverbed been dry? So this one here, Mary, we had water in it earlier this year. By beginning of February, for a couple days, it had water in it. We had a very, very big storm, like a good actual couple days of rain. So it flowed then. Otherwise, The last time it was a proper river, Mary, sort of bank to bank, and it flowed, was 2015, I believe. So the year just before I got here, it flowed bank to bank. Since then, and the time that I've been here, it's had maybe ankle deep water on 2 occasions, and that lasted a day to a day and a half, and then it dried up again. It's quite surprising. I mean, you look how big this riverbed actually is. It's a very big, wide river. But we've been in a bad drought, Mary. So whatever rain we do get, it needs to sort of saturate the ground first. And then so we need like a week of medium to light rain, or light to medium rain, just to saturate the ground, to fill up everything underground, and then heavy rains to actually get the river to flow. But it's a beautiful sight. When it happened now in February, just before I went on leave, there was a stage where we couldn't cross some of the rivers because they were flowing so much, and it's very beautiful. So, but it takes out a lot, you know. Think about the lines that we've been seeing here. This one in the river, yesterday in the river. So we got a question from Brendan about the lion. Brendan wants to know if this is that 3-year-old Birmingham male. Brendan, it is the Birmingham male. It is the Sabalot. So remember yesterday, Rowan followed the sister back towards a den where we believe her cubs to be. So we are going to possibly head there this morning to see if we can also find her. But yes, so this is him. This is the one that you saw. I don't know how long you've been watching for, but this is the one that has been calling when he was looking to find his sister. This is my favorite one, Brendan. He is the best lion that we have. You know, for his age, his size, his looks. I mean, if you look at the mane there, if Marcel zooms in on his face, you can see he's got a very impressive mane. He's a beautiful, beautiful guy. So he's just over 3 years, Brendan. He's 3 years, well, 3.5. 3 years, 7 months. How old he is. His birthday's actually just gone past, so he's 3 years and 8 months now. Him and his sister. But it's been pretty incredible watching him. In terms of watching how he has progressed, how he has aged, how his what would it be, his relationship with the pride has changed over the last sort of 3 and a bit years. The lion dynamics can get quite complicated. You know, who's friends with who fights with who. They only fight sometimes. Like last night, you know, he was here with both those Ross males, and it was fine. They were all just sleeping. I think it's partly to do because they were full. I mean, even now, you can see his stomach at the back there, that pale part. You can see him breathing. Not too quickly because the weather's still nice and cool, but he's still full from that buffalo that they've been eating. He's eaten quite a lot. I think that's why he's just a bit lazy. That's why the males last night also just a bit lazy. Oh, listen. So I don't know if you can hear that. But it sounds like possibly the 2 males and maybe the rest of the pride. I think I'm hearing 2 or 3 lions calling. You see how quickly he reacted to that. Now where he's staring is almost right through me towards where these lions are calling further back behind us. That sounds like they are quite far from here. Oh, listen. Oh. That's exactly what we are hoping. So we're just going to sit here quietly and listen. I want to see if he calls again. It does sound very lonely. So those are very, very quiet contact calls. So he's lucky here in the river. The sound will travel quite far down the river to where the other lions are. But what we heard earlier from the rest of the lions, the two males were roaring. Those were proper roars. Where what he's doing, like I said, is just contact calling. So he obviously got separated from them last night. Now we just heard them calling. So he's trying to contact, see if they will reply, see if he can narrow down. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets up now. You know, he's grooming himself. It's generally a good sign. He has heard the pride. Now these lions, incredible hearing. They know he can sit here and say, okay, they were calling from, you know, 1.5 kilometers further down that way. And then he knows if he heads that way. I'm hoping that's what he's going to do. And it was just incredible to see him fast asleep, hear those other lions call, get up, listen, wait to see any more calling, nothing, and then reply. I mean, it's amazing to have it with that backdrop in the river with the sun rising. Doesn't get more African safari than this. And I hope he joins up with the rest of the pride. See, look at his ears. Very focused that way. He was staring there. We've got a question from Caitlin. Caitlin's 11 years old and she lives in America. Welcome, Caitlin. She wanted to know, is he sad that he got kicked out of the pride? Now, Caitlin, he hasn't officially been kicked out of the pride yet. You know, he can still join up with them every now and then, which is exactly what we're hoping he's going to do now, Caitlin. But when he does get kicked out, I think he would be a little bit sad. You know, he's been with the rest of these lions his whole life. You know, 3 years, 8 months he's been with them. And now he's going to get in a fight, probably get a bit injured, and have to leave. So, Caitlin, I would be a bit sad. Lions are very social animals. You know, that's why they live in these prides. They live in groups. They're social animals. So, Caitlin, I mean, you don't know for sure, but I would say yes, he'll be a bit sad. I mean, you heard him calling now. It sounds sad. Sounds lonely. I mean, it was just a soft contact call, but it sounded a bit lonely. Interesting question from Tom. Tom wants to know, are there no other lions, other males his age on Ngala that he could join up with, form a coalition to leave? Now, Tom, no. No, there aren't. So, remember you saw those lions yesterday, the Birmingham Breakaway Pride. So, the lions there, not quite his age. Those ones are ones that he has would have had the best chance of forming up with, because they are related to him distantly in a way. So he could potentially form up a coalition with them. But all the other prides around here, you know, they get chased off Ngala. They are constantly chased away by the 2 Ross males or by the rest of his pride. So maybe, I think at the end of this year, Thomas, by the end of the year, he's going to be kicked out. Then he's going to leave. And then hopefully he'll find someone to join up with. Maybe while he's nomadic and he's wandering around the Timbavati, or if he heads down to Sabi Sands or Manuleti, wherever he ends up going, maybe he'll find another single male like himself. But on Ngala, no, there's not really anybody here for him to join up with. But you can see here, now we heard that roar, which is absolutely incredible. He's still just sort of lying here, he's grooving a bit, yawning a bit. I think he might be here for a couple more minutes. So we're going to sit here, we're going to spend some time. In the meantime, while we watch him, we're going to send you back to Lauren at Djuma.
I had found some tracks. So we're just driving. Yeah, they're still here. We're just driving along the road that we see the tracks. They don't look immediately fresh. They're not piping hot, shall we say. But I think it's just worth following them for now and seeing potentially where this leopard went. A lot can happen in the night. It was windy last night, which affects tracks because, of course, it blows the sand. It blows any sediment on the ground. And because the air is so misty, that's a lot of moisture in the air. That also actually affects the tracks. But still, let's see if we can pick up on any clues. And, of course, there's always hyena. If you see a leopard track, you will always see a hyena track. They come hand in hand. Just stop at this junction. Sometimes we just need to have a look and figure out exactly which way the animal went. It's still so misty. Look at that. Look at the mist coming out of the drainage line ahead of us. It's lifting. It's slowly, slowly lifting as the sun is popping up.
Join the Wild Earth YouTube Superfan community and unlock a world of additional perks. Get exclusive early access or discounts to Wild Earth travel deals. Wear the best bush attire with merchandising discounts. Enjoy an interactive live monthly private safari. Don't miss out on the ultimate fan experience. Join the YouTube Superfan community today. Are you ready for the adventure of a lifetime? Discover the magic of Africa with Wild Earth Travel. From a big cat safari to a jungle trek with gorillas, picture yourself floating down the Zambezi River or witnessing the breathtaking wildebeest migration. At Wild Earth Travel, we turn your bucket list into reality. Don't just dream it, live it. Plan your incredible life-changing journey with Wild Earth Travel today. Do you sometimes imagine what Wild Earth would be like without adverts? A chance to properly immerse yourself in nature without any interruptions. Sign up to be an explorer for a small monthly fee and you can truly escape into the wilderness. Ad-free viewing is now available on our app as well as on our website. Wild Earth, it's in your nature.
Seems to me that the sun is going to burn this mist off pretty quickly. And then I think northern parts of the reserve, I haven't found any sign of those lions. I'm a bit in 3 or 4 minds as to what to do now. But I suppose just bumbling about will eventually yield some sort of result with any luck. We'll have Cape turtle doves and their gorgeous morning call that apparently to some admonishes us to work harder, work harder. There's an oxpecker flying overhead going in search of a buffalo or a kudu or an impala to eat. Well, not to eat the ticks off that thing. And it was quite a warm 21 degrees or so this morning, which is pretty warm for this time of year. You may have heard that growling noise. It wasn't in fact an animal, but my stomach. So you'd hope to hear the last sort of roar of a lion in the mist here, but no, you haven't. Josh, you're wondering if I have rusks for my morning coffee. Josh, I don't normally know. This morning I had the very last homemade hot cross bun that my wife made, and it was very delicious, I must say. But normally I don't have anything with my coffee. Sometimes I do. And today I did. Alex in the final control had cheesecake this morning with his morning coffee, which is very nice. Some of you who are perhaps new viewers might be asking yourselves what on earth a rusk is. A rusk is, I suppose, the South African equivalent of a biscotti, except it's much thicker, much harder, and was, I think, if I'm not mistaken, comes originally from the Great Trek, when the only thing that was edible was stale bread mixed with a bit of sugar and raisins. And that's what it tastes like. Incredibly stale bread with a bit of sugar and raisins in it. Rusks are not my favourite, but a lot of people enjoy it, enjoy them. And one of the great highlights of my guiding career was watching the efforts of my guests when they'd come down to tea in the morning, and because rusks are a hugely South African thing, and they would they'd arrive and they'd get a steaming hot cup of delicious coffee, freshly plunged, and then they would be presented with two plates, one of which had what in Britain they call flapjacks, but what we call here crunchies, which are sort of oaty, seedy things. Quite nice, quite like them. And then they had this plate of rusks. And to watch somebody not from South Africa pick these things up and tap them on the table, shake them up a bit, then the brave ones would try and bite into them and often lose their teeth, until you instructed them that the only way to make this thing edible was to dip it into your coffee, and then it would soften and you could eat it like that. Amazing. I so fondly remember these experiences from and beyond Ngala, so let's go and find out if Sean ever has similar experiences.
Yeah, we're talking about rusks. And yes, James, we have had many an experience with a foreign guest, trying to figure out a rusk. It is quite humorous. Now watching they go straight in for the bite. It is a favorite of mine as well, but I much prefer crunchies myself. So this little guy here, this lion, he has moved, what, myself, 10 meters? Yeah, 10 meters further to his left, towards the bank. He's lying down. He hasn't called again. Not yet. We're hoping he will. He's still looking in that direction. So we're hoping he's going to call again soon. He's been doing a lot of grooming. If you have a look carefully, you can see on his mane that sort of golden color coming through now. It's obviously the sun shining on his mane, lighting it up like that. So he's going to start to get hot. I've taken off my jacket, it's getting warm now. And I think that's going to push him. It's going to push him further up here into these bushes. So we're going to spend as much time with him as we can. Now if you do look at him, just got to comment that he is a gorgeous, gorgeous little guy. And he is. I mean, look when he looks here. Look at the markings on his face. My soul zooms in a bit there, you see that. The white under his eyes, that beautiful sunlight on his mane now. I mean, he is a very, very handsome lion. Probably why he's my favorite. He had a tough childhood. But, well, yeah, tough youth. But now he's getting bigger, he's coming into his own. Beautiful face, not too many scars. But he's got that rugged look. Especially with the sun on him. But now he's still listening. Just remember, the lions, the leopards, the cats like this, they're still very alert. We've got a question from Tom, wanting to know if his mother will still call for him. So Tom, generally not. It's a part of the behavior that we've seen change over the last couple of months, close to a year. So when he calls, like we heard earlier, that soft little contact call, very seldom do the pride actually reply to him. He was quite lucky that the pride roared first. He heard that, and then he tried to contact them. Now they heard him, but you see, they didn't reply. And if he had to call now, I was having his chat with Marcel, if he had to call now, I would be very surprised if the rest of the pride replied. Maybe his sister, she might reply to him, Tom, but his mother won't. I mean, you must see, in, as I said, the 3 years that I've been here, you know, at the beginning, he was quite young and, you know, very involved in the pride. Then over the last year, 8 months to a year, the behavior towards him has changed completely. He used to be able to walk into the pride and, you know, greet all the females and groom with them, and they would be happy and greet him and groom him and all of that, and it was fine. And then over the couple of months, we saw him go in, and he would try and greet the females and groom them, and they would not respond at all. They would just sort of lie there. On the rare occasion, they would groom him, but generally not. And now we see every now and then he'll go up to a female, try and greet the female, and she'll actually growl at him. She will growl at him and sort of chase him away just from her. So I mean, the sort of behavior, the hostility has increased a lot in the last couple of months. From him being accepted to him now just being chased away completely. And they still defend him on occasion. So a couple weeks ago actually, they were feeding on a buffalo, and those two Ross males, the two big males, had a fight with him, like a proper big fight. Like there was blood and everything. But while it was happening, the females actually came to this young male's defense, and they also attacked the Ross males. Bit the one leg, swiped one with the paw. So they will still defend him when it gets really serious. You know, he's still, you know, her cub, so she will still defend him when it gets very heated. But even now, those females are in the process of trying to chase him away, Tom. And that's why I think by the end of this year, this male's gone. He would have been kicked out, he would have been chased away. The females are not putting up with him as much as they used to, and they will be part of the reason that he leaves. So it's not just the males that chase him away. The females also, as Louis said, just sort of give him the cold shoulder and chase him out.
We should probably prepare to move fairly quickly.
Wild Earth presents Safari Spotlight, your front row seat to the wonders of the wild. Join our expert naturalists each week as they guide you on an unforgettable journey through the heart of nature.
Looks like this female came out here.
What a privilege to be here.
Subscribe to the Wild Earth YouTube channel and and never miss a moment of the adventure. Wild Earth, connecting with nature. Get ready for an adventure of a lifetime. Wild Earth Travel is proud to launch a brand new grand tour. Backed by popular demand, join us for an unforgettable experience where you'll meet Wild Earth presenters from past and present, participate in an exclusive rhino conservation project, and even take a masterclass in wildlife filming. And of course, you'll get up close and personal with your favorite animal characters. Book your spot now and dive into the wild with Wild Earth Travel. Did you know that the Wild Earth team makes weekly behind the safari content? Would you like to get to know the Wild Earth family better? See how we live.
This is Igor's bedroom.
Learn about our production process. And see the antics that happen off camera. Sign up to be an explorer and you will get access to all this content and more.
I have a policeman, everyone. We have been stopped by the police. Literally. I am hoping this is a striped, because this is going to be a new one for my butterfly list. I just need to get a bit of a... I think it is. Good morning. Are you a striped policeman? Very busy. Very, very busy. Just warming up, or just wakening up, like I am, essentially. The warmth is only now seeping through from the sun. Everyone, this is a striped policeman. This is my first one. It's not a two-pip. It is, in fact, a striped. Yay! A new one for my list. You see, it's got its proboscis out. I wonder if it's drinking up some of the moisture. Butterflies are nectar drinkers, and I say drinkers because they don't have mouth parts like other insects do. They do have a proboscis. Many insects also have a proboscis, but the way they use it, they essentially drink up nectar or moisture or even blood from the ground. And they use it like a straw, so that's essentially why I do say drink. And I just wonder if this one's maybe hydrating and just picking up the moisture from the ground. And that's why his proboscis is actually out. It's gorgeous. You see that stripy body? I imagine. Vasque and Tranquility, you're saying that's a chubby looking butterfly. Indeed. A very chubby body on that one. And it's 100% a butterfly, definitely not a moth. And it's very fat, you're right. It looks in its prime. You can normally gauge when a butterfly is at the end of its life cycle. It looks really tattered. It will be missing scales. It will just generally look old and worn out. And that's essentially when you know a butterfly is at the end of its life cycle. The layers and layers of chitin, which is a really common material in the animal kingdom, it's the protein that make up the wings, will essentially start to fall off, and it just really does look old. I wonder what this individual's doing. It's gorgeous. Now, with the proboscis that I talk about, which is that straw. Oh, and here's something. Hold on. there's something here.
Was he eating something here?
Okay, this is not our property. We're on the boundary line, but we can view. Hold on. I'll come back to that butterfly chat. We're surrounded by tracks, everyone. I was actually getting to that. It's a lion eating a carcass. It's lions. We've got lions eating a carcass. It's the avocas. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, I've got the avocas. Okay, hold on, Owen. This is not our property. Oh my goodness, they've got a buffalo. The avocas are on a buffalo. I can't believe it. Oh my goodness. I think it's the avocas. We have lions on a buffalo. I think, everyone, we have the Nkuhumas. They're not on our property. Owen, I was just going to go to this gap. Okay, hold on, everyone. We're just on the boundary line. Do not worry. I just want to see what we have here, and I'll need to call this in. Can you get any sort of view from here, Owen? Not great, is it? It's 2 females. I can see 2 females and a male, and it looks like a buffalo. Oh my goodness. Owen, well done. We could hear the crunching. Owen said there's something there. Yes, there's definitely something there. Everyone is saying Nkuhumas. Yes, our lion pride. Oh, I'm so happy. Okay, do you know what? I'm going to need to try and reposition. I just don't know how to do it. It's not on our property. It's to the south. I think this is Little Gowrie. Yes, this is Little Gowrie, everyone. They took down a buffalo last night. Can you believe it? Wowza, I can only see... Did you hear that?
2 males.
Can you see the 2 males? Oh, finally we can introduce you to our lions. I'm sure this is the avoca. I'm sure I just recognized Blondie there, but I actually could be wrong. Do you know what, Owen? Let's circle round. They're not going anywhere, and just see if we can get a better view from the other side. Just bear with us. Oh my goodness, I can't believe that. We're looking at a butter... Can you hear that, everyone? They're fighting over the carcass. I know, why couldn't they have just killed this on the boundary line or in Juma, which is 10 meters away? Yeah, definitely a buffalo. I cannot believe this. Do you know what I thought when I heard it? I thought it was elephants. I can hear, I'm talking, I can hear crunching and breaking, and I thought elephants. Okay, everyone, I'm just going to get on this game drive radio in case anyone is around. Good morning, mobile stations. We've located Nkuhumas and Avoca males just off the southern boundary, Gowrie Main, on Little Gowrie. I don't know if anyone's going to get that message, but we must call it in.
Join the Wild Earth YouTube Superfan community and unlock a world of additional perks. Get exclusive early access or discounts to Wild Earth travel deals. Wear the best bush attire with merchandising discounts. Enjoy an interactive live monthly private safari. Don't miss out on the ultimate fan experience. Join the YouTube Superfan community today. Are you ready for the adventure of a lifetime? Discover the magic of Africa with Wild Earth Travel. From a big cat safari to a jungle trek with gorillas, picture yourself floating down the Zambezi River or witnessing the breathtaking wildebeest migration. At Wild Earth Travel, we turn your bucket list into reality. Don't just dream it, live it. Plan your incredible life-changing journey with Wild Earth Travel today. Stay up to date with the latest happenings at Wild Earth. Discover what goes on behind the scenes and get a weekly recap of the best moments on the channel.
He's got it! And he's straight up a tree!
Sign up to be an explorer and receive our newsletter written just for you and sent straight to your inbox every week. Wild Earth Explorers, a club for people who are passionate about nature.
Thank you for joining us and have a fantastic morning.
A lot. And essentially, they've had a huge boom in cubs. I can't see any movements of cubs here, but I mean, we can't see much. I will try and patrol this area to reposition in just a bit. Now, there should have been 12 cubs. No, that's wrong. There was... Yes, we lost. We have gone through a lot of unfortunate, very sad losses. We had 2 boys from Regionals. We had 4 from Amber Eyes, one of our lionesses, 3 females and a male. We had 3 boys from Purple Eye, but it was thought that Purple Eye lost one. So that is essentially 8. -1, 7, and then we had a last boom of the youngest lioness who gave birth to 4 cubs. Their sexes were unknown, and it is believed that she's lost a lot of them and potentially she only has 1 remaining. So that means we have 8 cubs in the Nkahuma Pride. And I actually saw them not too long ago and we counted all 8. Angelina, you are right. Do you know what? I'm going to say something. I was about to jump out of the car to check the tracks. So we showed you the butterfly, and then I was about to show you tracks, which actually walk into Juma, and I was about to get out of the car. I did hear something, but it sounded to me like branches breaking. It was, of course, not. And it's actually these lions crunching on the buffalo. I wish we had better views. I think this is our Nkahuma Pride, I really do, but thank you, Michael Fleetwood. You have identified the tatty-eared lioness. It's the Nkahumas, and yes, it's the Avokas. Goodness, I feel like I'm going to have to reintroduce myself to the Nkahumas because it's been so long since I've seen them. Hello, avocas. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, butterfly.
Yeah, thank you, butterfly. Thank you, Owen. We stopped for a butterfly. How ironic is that, everyone? We stopped for a butterfly because I'm doing a species list. And it was a striped policeman, so it's a new one. So I was already excited about that. I could see tracks. I was going to wait to investigate. And we find Ngumas. Thank you, butterfly. Thank you, striped policeman, for stopping us. Didn't think I would ever say that sentence. But I could hear the lions calling. I knew they were on Gowrie Main last night, and it really does not mean in the morning they will still be on Gowrie Main. As you know, they move great distances during the night, but I just had a sneaky suspicion that it was worth coming down here and at least trying to find out where they went. Did they go back south again, or did they pop into Juma? They have done neither. They have stayed on Gowrie Main. It's about time we got to show you our pride. There's many new people on board who have never met the Ngumas. Birdman, the Avoca males were born in 2013, so they're 7. They're very much in their pride. In their prime, sorry. Not their pride. In their prime. They're very, very much in the sort of peak of their lives, the Avocas. And they're actually quite an impressive coalition. They took over from the Birmingham boys, who seemed to, well, essentially up and leave. They just up sticks and leave. The Birmingham boys used to be the most dominant coalition down here, and they literally just left Juma. They went down south and never returned, and they left a vacuum. And it was the Avoca boys, who actually originate from a place called Avoca, not too far from here, that came in. And why we judged the Avocas to start with was because they didn't have a takeover. There was no aggression. Essentially, they just walked right on in and did not have to pay rent, did not have to speak to a landlord. This land was free for the taking. They came in and picked it right up. Normally, male lion coalitions, when they want to establish a territory as young boys, they have to have some sort of aggression, takeover, fights, battles, increase the testosterone biologically. But these Avoca boys had it very easy. They just walked in. They got the Ngumas, they got the Talamatis, they got Juma, boom. But they have turned into very impressive male lions. Oh, and what do you think? Can we reposition or just stay here for now?
There's one tree giving us up here.
There's one tree. I think there's quite a few trees.
If we go that much.
Oh, I cannot believe this, everyone, and I'm so happy we were live and you got to witness that whole scenario play out. I'm going to try and reposition, but this is going to be tricky. So for now, we are going to send you back across to and beyond Ngala with Sean.
It's so amazing that you got to see, or can see, the Avoca males. Well, some of them and the pride on a buffalo. It's very, very cool. We've had some incredible sightings these last couple days. And what a morning it's turned out to be. One male here. The male sounds like a female and a cub as well at Juma. Really, really awesome activities and behavior to see. So this male looks like he has now gone fast asleep again. We were hoping with that sun coming up, but it's now gone behind a very large cloud. And it looks like this male is just going to rest here for the day. He hasn't roared again. There's no other noises. No, the other lions haven't called again either. So my hopes and dreams that he was going to get up and lead us to them look like it's not actually going to work. You can see there he's breathing very slowly, very controlled. He's not struggling with the heat. As I said, I think he might be here for a while. We're going to spend maybe a minute or two more, see if anything happens. If not, we're going to see if we can find the rest of the pride. I'm going to head to where we heard the calls coming from. Now, quite hard to say exactly where. So we're going to drive a number of roads, have a look, see if we can find anything else. This one is my favorite, and it has been pretty spectacular seeing him, hearing him call, that soft little contact call, hearing the rest of them call. But he's let us down now. But that's fine, he deserves a break. Let him rest. I wouldn't be surprised if later on this morning, on our way back past here, as I said, the camp's very close. We're actually going to drive past it now. Then he'll still be here in the river. He's got a good spot. It's nice and cool here. He does have the shade up on the bank in case the sun does come out, in case it does get too hot. And there's a bit of water in the area. It just depends, because he's quite exposed where he is. You know, in terms of elephants walking down here, impalas, buffaloes, all sorts of animals walk down through the river. And if they do see him, you know, they might chase him, or they might just alarm around him, which could attract other attention that he just doesn't want. So it just depends on how his morning goes. Does it get too hot? Do other animals come? A question from Ranger Robin. Ranger Robin wants to know what prey sort of a lone male like this guy would go for. So Ranger Robin, if you were to hunt, you know, something like an impala would be quite easy for him. He's a big guy. I wouldn't be surprised if he went for a adolescent sort of wildebeest, maybe even an adult wildebeest he could go for. A young zebra. He could easily do a young zebra, any young animal, be it zebra, wildebeest, impala, he could take down. In terms of adults, I think a wildebeest would be the biggest. Maybe a kudu, a big male kudu he could take. But, oh, look at the elephants. So there's a whole herd of elephants coming down the river. There they go. You see there's a little small one in the middle there. Interesting to see where they're going, because sometimes they head towards the Ambion tented camp to go drink from our swimming pool, which we then have to refill and clean every time, because they drink a lot and they dirty it quite a bit. But we'll see where they go. It looks like they're heading further across. Now there's a crossing here. If you see them, well, they've made their own path. The little ones try and swim in the pool. You see them stepping up on the ledge, but we've built like a little, not a barrier, but a trough. So we're not going to go too close. We don't want to chase them across. So we just drive here slowly and see where they go. You see, they actually go quite quickly through the sand here. Interesting. You see that bump that they're trying to go up. We're going to see right here. You can catch them going up the bank. Yeah, so when the elephants walk through the sand, I mean, firstly they sink quite a bit in the sand, and then as they move their feet, they don't lift them very high, and they kick a lot of the sand. So that one's looking up at that bank. It's very steep where they are. We'll drive past once they've gone up, and you can have a look at a very steep bank there. And it's actually very impressive how agile these elephants can be. Look at that. He's struggling, slid a little bit there. Yeah, but it's very impressive the banks that these animals can climb up. Very much so. I just got some comments in my ear about how people would struggle up there. Now, I've done a few walks with guests and we head towards that bank, and I don't take that path. It's actually very steep, especially coming down. You don't want to come down there. And it's hard work. And to see that elephant that's now taking a break halfway up, it's big. The elephant weighs a few tons. And to see him being able to navigate up the bank like that, it's incredibly impressive. He did have to stop for a break, but slid a little bit there. He's stopping for a snack halfway up.
We should probably prepare to move fairly quickly.
Wild Earth presents Safari Spotlight, your front row seat to the wonders of the wild. Join our expert naturalists each week as they guide you on an unforgettable journey through the heart of nature.
Looks like this female came out here.
What a privilege to be here.
Subscribe to the Wild Earth YouTube channel and never miss a moment of the adventure. Wild Earth, connecting with nature. Get ready for an adventure of a lifetime. Wild Earth Travel is proud to launch a brand new grand tour. Backed by popular demand, join us for an unforgettable experience where you'll meet Wild Earth presenters from past and present, participate in an exclusive rhino conservation project, and even take a masterclass in wildlife filming. And of course, you'll get up close and personal with your favorite animal characters. Book your spot now and dive into the wild with Wild Earth Travel. Chatting around the fire is an ancient practice that has connected humanity for centuries, and we want to keep it alive in our modern age. As an explorer, you'll have access to intimate gatherings with our naturalists, fascinating guests, and experts where we share knowledge, insights, and stories around a crackling fire. Rediscover the power of connection. Sign up to be an explorer today and experience the magic of Wild Earth's Fireside Chats.
I think this gap's the best one. Yeah. Yeah. Where we were, I think that will work. There's a gap here. Now, it's not going to be the best visuals, but we have found them just off Gowrie Main at Shibamu. Shibamu is our junction, and it's exactly where Davi predicted last night. Sorry, everyone, this is slightly awkward. I just want to try and see if we can get another gap. Lions, why did you have to do this on a different property? Why? Why? There's a gap there. Okay, we think this is the best view we're going to get, but it's not the entire pride. It's both Evocas, but it's not the entire pride, so I wonder if we're going to see others approach, others join. Where are the cubs? I do not know. And Michael, you are right, there's 9 cubs. I'm not sure how I got that maths wrong, but there was definitely 3, 3, 2, and 4, so there was originally 12, but of course we've suffered loss within the Nkuhuma Pride, and now there's 9. But because they've been gone from our property for so long, I'm not going to lie to you, everyone. It's going to take me a little bit to get my head around them again. When you don't see an animal, you don't sort of get updates. Are the cubs still alive? Are they not alive? 3 of our youngest lioness, we call her Chella now. She lost 3 cubs, but it wasn't on our property and we didn't get to witness it. So of course we need to catch up with all the dynamics of the pride now. Owen's convinced we just missed this kill. This is a fresh kill. And I have to say, I'm also wondering the same thing. There's a lot of animal there. There's a lot of buffalo left. The blood looks fresh. There's lots of blood. Normally, if an animal has been sort of dead for quite some time, the blood will drain and it won't be as bloody as it would be, of course, when it's first killed. But it's good to see that Nkuhuma's on a buffalo. Ethan, you're 12 years old and you were asking about the age lions sort of, well, when they start to join the hunt, essentially. Now, it's a bit of a process. So lion cubs are born altricial, and what that means is that they're weak, they're underdeveloped, they're not fully formed yet. So they stay away for quite some time Normally it can be up to 6 weeks before a lioness will introduce them to the pride, and it varies. It depends on pride dynamics, but the lioness keeps them stashed away. She might let other lionesses approach, but essentially she keeps the cubs away from the pride. But once they reach that sort of 6-week mark, they're stronger, their eyes are open, they're covered in hair, they've got muscles, they're ready to run. And slowly but surely she will introduce them to the rest of the pride. Now they will still suckle, and the beautiful thing about lionesses, Ethan, is they all suckle, they allosuckle. That's what strengthens the pride, really. And slowly but surely they will start to get tidbits of meat, if you like. So they will try a little bit of meat, a little bit here, but it really won't be a lot. They will still suckle for a long time. And this is essentially to prepare their stomachs. So normally you've got to get lions ready to eat meat, to eat sort of carcasses. And from then on, we actually saw the Nkuhuma cubs running around in a hunt. That was with you, Owen, I think. Remember that buffalo hunt? Yeah. And they weren't necessarily participating because they're not strong enough to really do anything. But they were there, they were watching, they were observing, they were running, they were learning. They can learn by observing. And therefore, that was only when some of them were around the ages of 8 weeks old. So as soon as they're introduced to the pride, they will follow the pride. And they won't necessarily jump on a buffalo and take it down, but they'll watch, they'll be there, they'll be present, and they'll be learning. And it's a process. Anytime from then, they can really be present at a hunt. But of course, it's not until they get much bigger that they will actually be able to participate in the hunt or have the strength to do so. So slowly but surely, they build up their physique in order to hunt, and then they learn exactly how to execute a hunt. I mean, they only weigh 1 to 2 kilograms at birth. They're tiny. They don't really open their eyes until anywhere between 3 to 11 days. So there's a lot of developing and growing before they can actually turn into proper little lion cubs. But essentially, they are weaned at 7 to 10 months. So basically, they will still suckle for a really long time and supplement the diet with meat. And then that will change into entirely meat with less milk. And around 10 months old, they stop suckling. And Ken, you're asking, do they eat the horns? Absolutely not. They do not eat the horns. They won't eat the hooves either. And most likely, of a herbivorous sort of kill, they won't eat the stomach or the rumen contents. So herbivores, most herbivores are ruminants, and they have a special pouch in their stomach to digest that rumen, and it will be mainly plant matter. And normally the carnivores do not touch that either. So they won't eat the horns or the hooves. That will be left. That's not the delicious parts. How it works is they normally open the carcass via the soft under part of the stomach, just below the ribs, if you like. That's the softest, easy part to open. I know that doesn't sound pleasant, but they want the organs. Actually, the organs are the most nutritious part of any animal. That's where they will get all their vitamins, amino acids, minerals, and then they will work their way out and they will eat the muscles. Muscles is purely protein. And that's normally the last part they go for. The liver, the kidneys, the heart. That's very nutritious for these animals, and that's essentially what they want. And then they will work their way out to the muscles. Wow, I cannot believe this morning and how it started. So I really do hope the lions are going to kindly move the buffalo so we get better visuals, but at least we know where they are. So while I sit and enjoy my Nkuhuma pride, we're going to send you across to James for an update.
My question is, where is the rest of that pride, A, and B, how did they get there? Because I can't find any tracks coming out from where they were yesterday. Such are the mysteries of driving around in the wilderness. Maybe some of them are still up here. Maybe they aren't. We've had some elephant tracks and we've had a few, well, we've had thousands of hyena tracks. I don't know what the hyenas were doing. I think they were having a huge party here last night. But otherwise, things have been relatively quiet. We can look at some white-crested helmet shrikes, David, in the top of that knobthorn tree over there. And we could listen to the call of the white-browed scrub robin. Have you got them? See the knobthorn? See the dead bit in front of the knobthorn? That's where they are. You can hear them calling. Trick, trick, good trick, good trick, good trick, good trick. There they go. Very nice sound. We shall continue. David, I see you stood for that particular segment. Thank you, Eddie. Yes, that was a nice bird indeed. I quite like them. It's one of two helmet shrike species we get here. The other is the Retz's helmet shrike, which is a little black one with a red beak. Very beautiful. We'll just see if there isn't another bird or two on top of the ridge crest here, singing with the morning. I'd say a great start to the morning with 2 lion sightings and elephant sighting. We had some hippos. Unfortunately, we didn't have any signal and hippos, which was not ideal. And what you will see, we'll just quickly look at that spider there, is that on these misty mornings, the spider webs catch the falling moisture. And it is only then that you realize how many tens of thousands of spiders there are out here. So when the light catches them right, and the sun unfortunately has just gone behind a cloud, but when the light shines correctly, you can see thousands and thousands and thousands of all kinds of spider webs, bits of silk hanging from just about every branch. So don't ever wander through an area like this thinking there aren't any spiders. As Louise says, they look like Christmas decorations. They certainly do. On we go. Louise saying she's the director today in the final control, that she's very happy that I've managed to find at least one predator. Thank you very much. Thank you, Louise. Lauren said to David, as we pulled out of camp today, she said, enjoy your cat-free drive. I was determined to prove her wrong, but I have not. So David is enjoying a cat-free drive yet again. Of course he has. Sean has managed to find the Birmingham Pride now, so let's go across to Sean and the Birmingham Pride. I'll look for some more grass.
Shame, I believe James is getting a hard time. But every predator counts. James, be it a spider or a lion, it all counts. So we've managed to find, well, from what we can see, about 9 members of the rest of the Pride. Now, they haven't moved as far as I thought they did last night. They only moved a little bit, a couple 100 meters from where Rowan left them, because they're just full, they're fat, they're lazy, so they haven't moved far. Here we've got one of the little young females, and so this was about 1.5 years, around there. So she's going to go join up with the other ones that are lying along the banks. So she was playing with her brother earlier. Watch how she's walking there, though. Very careful foot placement. She might just go and chase now. sprint after one of the other two lying down there. You see how she's going, very carefully placing her feet in that grass. Doesn't want to make a noise. And this is all very important behavior. This practice stalking, it's playing, but it's learning. She's going to use this when she gets older. So look at this, how stretched out her body is as well. And is she just avoiding getting wet, or she's actually going to try and chase somebody?
Join the Wild Earth YouTube superfan community and unlock a world of additional perks. Get exclusive early access or discounts to Wild Earth travel deals. Wear the best bush attire with merchandising discounts. Enjoy an interactive live monthly private safari. Don't miss out on the ultimate fan experience. Join the YouTube superfan community today. Are you ready for the adventure of a lifetime? Discover the magic of Africa with Wild Earth Travel. From a big cat safari to a jungle trek with gorillas, picture yourself floating down the Zambezi River or witnessing the breathtaking wildebeest migration. At Wild Earth Travel, we turn your bucket list into reality. Don't just dream it, live it. Plan your incredible life-changing journey with Wild Earth Travel today. Are you looking to take your bond with the wild to the next level? Download our app and access in-depth chats with our naturalists and special guests. Connect and converse in real time on our Ask Me Anythings, fireside chats, hangouts and town halls. WeChat, available on the Wild Earth app. Wild Earth, we are Safari.
She's saying, don't the little black ends of the tail serve a purpose? Now, Kylie, they definitely do. So we were saying earlier about how thick it is, how much grass there is, how many bushes there are. So what that black does, that black on the tail, is as the parents, the mothers are walking, it gives the cubs something to see, something to focus on as they're walking. You know, that's eye level with the cubs. They can watch the tail so they don't lose the parents in the longer grass and the thicker bushes. So it's like a follow me sign. If you actually have a look on the ears, Kylie, even on those wide ones, you can see there's a darker spot. Oh, just look up on the bank. So we're supposed to go pan there. We've got both the Ross males now standing up there on the bank, just overlooking. So where they're looking to the right there is where we left that young male. Ooh. One of the cubs just made like a little contact call. So it might be because that female crossed the river and now these guys are just watching to see, is there food left? So sorry, Kylie, yes, the ears are also dark. They all follow me signs. It's behind the ears, it's on the tail. So when they're stalking, I mean, look at those males. There's very little dark color. Oh, beautiful yawn. On the face, there's no giveaways on the face. Everything is on the backside, so that the other lions behind them can see where each other are. So I don't know if you heard that, but it sounds like that young male's calling. We got a question from Joy in Hong Kong. Joy wants to know if these Ross males, those two males we just saw, are the fathers of the two white ones that we were looking at. Joy, they are. They are the father of all of the cubs here. So those three that you can now see, the Ross males are their fathers. Every cub that is in the pride at the moment belongs to or is fathered by one of those two Ross males. So both those Ross males mated with the females in the pride, so we don't know exactly who the father is, but both of them are the fathers. What we're going to do, we're going to see if we can get around a little bit, have a look at those two now. A lot of them seem to be just behind that bush there. And we'll just turn a bit here. And see, now I'm just curious about the young male. From here to the young male is maybe 300 meters, so it's not far at all. If they call again, you know, he knows where they are. And what we'll do is we will stop like this. Can you see from this angle? I just want myself to quickly actually look at this young white one. Look at its eye. It looks like he got in a bit of a paw to the face, maybe black eye, swollen. Now when I look at it with the binoculars, it looks very bad on the camera. But with the binoculars, it doesn't look too bad. His eye's still open, his eye's still there. It looks like it's not blind. Just a bit of almost pus that seems to be leaking down his face. That's that little stripe that you can see there. That's just pus leaking. Like he got hit there, and then that's just the liquid. But yeah, it looks pretty ugly. But that's the thing with these two white ones, is that when they get an injury, it generally looks very bad because their fur is white. So any sort of black marks, red marks, anything like that stands out a lot more on them than it would on another lion. So you can see he's got a few marks. Look at his neck, on his head. There's a few black marks there. When it scars, it looks bad because it's so contrasting against their fur, their white fur. So it's not as bad as it looks, guys. He's going to be perfectly fine. That will heal. He's not blinded, nothing like that. So not too much to worry about. Looks like those males are now just relaxing again up on the bank. See, I think there's quite a few lions actually up on the bank. We've only seen two females, the one that you can now see lying down in the river and the one that crossed, so that's two. And we know the young one is back at her den, so that's three. So there's two more females that we can't see that I think are up on the bank. So that would be the whole pride here now. So we are going to sit here and see what happens. I want to see these males get up, if the young male joins, anything like that. But again, it's just the patience game. So while we play that game, we're going to send you back to Lauren with the Nkahuma pride eating that buffalo.
Wow, it's been a long time since I've heard that link. Lauren with the Nkahumas. Now, I apologise, everyone. It's a wildebeest. I just had a good look at it, and there's another vehicle in the sighting who can actually traverse that property, and they went right in and confirmed it. I'm sorry, that's actually very naughty of me. I just assumed buffalo, because I can see buffalo tracks on Gowrie, Maine, and I saw the dark colour of the skin, so that was very naughty. I just assumed. Never assume. There's an expression that I can't say on air that I learned from my mama, but it goes something like, assumption is the mother of all mess-ups. There you go, that's the edited version. And it's true, don't assume. It's a wildebeest. I don't know the sex, I cannot tell from what we're looking at if it's male or female. And once again, I do apologise for the visuals. If this was winter, we would have crystal clear, perfect visuals from the boundary line, but because it's summer, there's so much vegetation in the way, I really couldn't possibly do any better. We've tried to maneuver, but we just can't. I'm afraid it's on a property we cannot traverse. So I'm just going to show you an image after I sneeze. Hold on. Bless me, sorry about that. And I'm going to use my porcu-pointer, as Brittany calls it, because Darby says my fingernails are not nice. And it's true. So I'm going to introduce you to the Nkuhuma Pride. Now this is from Michael Fleetwood. It's not my diagram, it's Michael's. And I just want to credit him for it because it's fantastic. Now up here, we'll start up here. Purple-eyed lioness. This is one of our beautiful lionesses, just similar to Hukamuri. She's got a purple eye. We're very good at naming our lionesses. Very original. Purple Eye is a prominent member of the Nkuhuma Pride, and then we have Amber Eyes. Amber Eyes is probably the most famous lioness. She's got quite a history behind her. She went famous on the Tinternet for giving a cub a hug. She's also suffered great loss. She's not had a great chance to be a mother yet, and her eyes, believe it or not everyone, are amber. Yes. Now we have the red-nosed lioness. She is the mother of the two oldest cubs, who really are starting not to look so cub-like, to be perfectly honest with you. Two boys, and they're growing up fast. They look huge now in comparison to the other cubs. And then we have Chela. We've recently named Chela. She had other nicknames, but we've named her Chela because she was always found around Chelapan, and that's where she gave birth. She had 4 cubs, but sadly it's believed she's actually suffered great loss and lost 3 of them. Then we have the sort of sub-adults, if you like. Nick-eared lioness. She's got nicks in her ears. Ah. This nicknaming thing is just too good. Pale-eyed lioness, she's gorgeous, and yes, she has pale eyes. Then the tattered ear lioness. This is the one that Michael Fleetwood was mentioning is here with us right now. We can see her. We can identify her from her, wait for it, tatty ears. Yes. And the youngest lioness, because I think she's the youngest lioness. So up the top you have the 4 adults, the most prominent members of the Pride. And then under here, you have the 4 sub-adults. You can hear all the noises. This is a great diagram, and thank you, Michael. This is really, really helpful. I love it, and it's all Michael's doing. And then, of course, we have 9 cubs and 2 avokas. Oh, my goodness, this is not pleasant. The Nkuhumas lost their oldest lioness as well, not so long ago. They lost Nana. She was the oldest lioness. She had a huge, huge, huge injury on her hip. It was very unpleasant to look at, and it did look painful, but she seemed to navigate her life perfectly well with it. But it didn't heal very well. It was quite an unsightly scar on her hip, and she passed away last year. She was the oldest lioness in the entire Pride, and she was found. She was found dead, unfortunately. Nkuhumas, what a way to introduce yourself to our new viewers. Yes. I don't know if this is Mohawk or Blondie, but it's one of them. I've also got an image of the avokas that I'm going to try and show on my phone. So therefore, at least everyone who's recently joined us can get an idea of who the Avoca Coalition are. You can't help but love the Avokas. Jessica, you're 12 years old and from Johannesburg. You're awake nice and early. Well done, Jessica. You must be an early riser like us. But yes, essentially, the males are bigger than the females, quite substantially, and more aggressive. So normally when there's a takedown, if it's a bigger item of prey, if it's a buffalo or a giraffe, everyone's involved. It's a cooperative effort from everyone, lionesses and lions. And essentially they will all go in for the kill. We actually watched them, Jessica, on Christmas night or Boxing Day night. No, it was Christmas Eve. I apologise, it was Christmas Eve. And we got a great present, all of us. We went out for a bumble, just to celebrate Christmas. You know, we can't really do much else here. And we didn't expect much, and lo and behold, we watched the Nkuhuma Pride take down an impala ram. Everyone went in for the kill. The male, actually, no, it was a female lioness that made the final sort of pounce, but the Avoca males just came in, and because, of course, the impalas are smaller than the likes of a buffalo, the carcass was teared to shreds immediately. And I know that doesn't sound very pleasant, but everyone dived in for the taking. But of course, the Avoca, being stronger and essentially more aggressive, managed to pull the carcass away from the lionesses, so they were not able to get some. But it's not a case of them letting the males go first. Sometimes it's just a case of the males being far too strong and therefore, well, getting most of the carcass. So it really depends on what it is. The bigger the animal, then of course the more for the taking, and it can feed everyone. But if it's a smaller animal like an impala, then there's going to be a lot of aggression at that feeding frenzy. So no, the females don't really wait for the males to eat first, but they're also cautious around them. Jane, you're 11 years old from America. Wow. So yes, essentially when there's a carcass, they will eat. They will gorge themselves until they're completely full. And then once they're full, they'll be very, very swollen, and they'll normally go to sleep not too far away. So essentially they're guarding it. They're sleeping right next to it to guard it. And there's lots of them. There's lots of eyes, lots of ears, lots of fat bellies. They really won't stroll too far. If it gets hot, if the sun really breaks soon, it gets very, very hot, then you will find that they go off and seek shades, but it will still be close by to the carcass. When the entire pride get up and leave a carcass, it's lost. It's game over. Vultures, hyenas. And the interesting thing about this scenario, there is not one single hyena or one single vulture in the sky. I don't see anybody. And this is another reason, I don't know why I'm doing this with my porky pointer, but it's fun. That's another reason we think it's fresh, just from the blood, from the size of the animal and how much meat is left from what we gauge. And there's no scavengers. I think it's very, very, very fresh, which is exciting. Good job in Kahumas. I think we just missed them the takedown. A wildebeest would be quite easy for these lions. These lions are used to taking down buffalo, which are massive, massive, bovids, and of course giraffes. We had the Nkuhumas last year on a giraffe kill, an adult giraffe. I lost comms there, but I do think I have to send you across. Is that correct? Yes, okay. I'm going to fix out my earpiece and I'm going to send you guys across to Sean at Ngala with his lions.
Okay, so quite interesting what's happening here. A little bit scary. So we heard the young male calling again when we were sitting with the pride, and now these two big males also heard it. So you can see the one male just in front of us over there. The other one's just off to our left. And they are now heading straight for that young male. And it doesn't look like they're going there with happiness in their hearts. So just in front, I don't know if you can see if I put my finger there. So, so about there, which is not far, maybe 100 meters. That's where the young male is. Now we just saw him and he walked behind that bush. So I think he saw this male in front of us. And now he knows it's not a good sign that they're coming. Because there's just this male and his brother that are coming. The rest of the pride stayed where we had them. And I think they heard him calling. And then they started calling. And now they're going to go and potentially fight him. And this one here, this one that we got walking in front of us, is the mean brother. He's not a nice guy. The other one lay down. I think he's going purely because this one's going, he's going with one-on-one. This one versus the young male. The young male's big. You know, he's big. This guy, he's got more experience. He's got a bit of a weight advantage. So he could win, but it's going to be a close battle. Now, there's just some impalas. I don't know if you can hear them calling. They just ran up the bank here. This male barely even looked at them. So you can know he's not looking to hunt. He's moving with an intent. He's moving with a purpose straight towards this young male. I'm a little bit nervous now. Because as I was saying, this young male is my favorite lion. If they get in a fight, once he gets injured, I don't know. So I'm a little bit nervous. Okay, so I can see the young male. So he's just off about here.
We should probably prepare to move fairly quickly.
Wild Earth presents Safari Spotlight, your front row seat to the wonders of the wild. Join our expert naturalists each week as they guide you on an unforgettable journey through the heart of nature.
Looks like this female came out here.
What a privilege to be here.
Subscribe to the Wild Earth YouTube channel and never miss a moment of the adventure. Wild Earth, connecting with nature. Get ready for an adventure of a lifetime. Wild Earth Travel is proud to launch a brand new grand tour. Backed by popular demand, join us for an unforgettable experience where you'll meet Wild Earth presenters from past and present, participate in an exclusive rhino conservation project, and even take a masterclass in wildlife filming. And of course, you'll get up close and personal with your favorite animal characters. Book your spot now and dive into the wild with Wild Earth Travel.
Thank you for joining us and have a fantastic morning.
Did you miss all that? Never fear, you won't have to miss another beat on Wild Earth again with our Catch-Ups channel, where you can rewatch missed safaris and shows whenever you please. Only available on the Wild Earth app.
Thank you for joining us and have a fantastic morning.
Now Dan, yes, that does happen. They can kill each other. Generally it doesn't. Generally one will know, okay, I'm losing, I've lost, and it will run away. But if they keep fighting continuously, yes, they will fight to the death. They will fight to the death. Now that big male there is going up the bank. I think he's using these bushes in front of him as cover, because that young male is still lying there, and I don't think he can see this Ross male going around the bushes, and the young male is actually calling, which is not good. Oh, the young male doesn't know. He's not even looking. He's still calling. He's calling this Ross male. He's used the cover. See, look, the young male's not looking the right way. He's turned a bit. There, look, good. Lift up your head. Oh no. This Ross male, using his experience, as we said, he's an old male, he's very clever. He's using those bushes as cover. There's a bit of a gully, a bit of a dip. Oh, don't call. There's a bit of a dip there that the Ross male could use to get a lot closer to this young male. And I can't see the Ross male anymore. We've got a question from Rena asking if this young male is not the son of the big male that we just saw. No, Rena. So this young male, his father got chased away more 3 years ago, maybe 2 years ago. When these Ross males came in, they chased his father away. I think they, even before that, his father got chased away. Oh, there, I can see the Ross male in front of us, and he's straight towards the young male. I don't know if the young male's seen him. He's smelling. That young male's smelling. I don't think he's seen him. Oh, the Ross male's going now. He's walking. He's running. He's running. Watch. Oh, okay, good. You saw him. Oh, thank God. You saw him. Run faster. Okay. This is the best outcome we could have asked for. Yeah, Ross male is big, he's persistent. He's been very persistent there. Chasing him quite far away. See, that young male's just trotting though, he's not actually running. Looks like they might go up that bank. See, now that they're out the sand. Oh, now we're going to listen. I still hear some calling. We're going to see if we can get a little bit closer. As I said, we're not going to chase them up the bank. But this is the best outcome we possibly could have asked for. This is the best option. The young male saw him. He ran away in time. But you saw how persistent. You saw how persistent he was there. That Ross male. He was chasing him all the way down the river, up the bank. Whew, it's a little bit scary. I was quite nervous for my favorite guy there. Okay, so Courtney asked the question, why was that Ross male trying to sneak around, trying to hide in the bushes, and not just running at the young male? So Courtney, he wants to fight him, he wants to catch him. And if he just ran from the river, the young male would have seen him coming from far away and just run away. Would have used a lot of energy from the bigger male unnecessarily. So this way he could get closer, his chances were much higher to potentially catch him if he snuck around. So they crossed up here somewhere. Now, can you see them? Alright, so they crossed up here. Haven't heard any fighting, any roaring, any contact, something like that. It does get quite noisy. We haven't heard it, which is good. I think what we're going to do is find a crossing and drive up and around. Actually, we're not. We're going to wait here. So you can see there's a car in front of us. They're going to go around. Let's let them go, because that male, the older male, will give up eventually. He's not going to chase him and chase him and chase him. He doesn't have the energy. So we'll see what they find. I think shortly, in a few minutes, that big Ross male is going to come back down into the river. Now he's done his job. He's chased that young male away. And he's going to come back down into the river, join up with his brother, relax again after that effort. Because even just running like that requires a lot of energy from the males. So I'm sure he's going to come back now. We're going to stay in touch with those other rangers and see if anything happens. But that was very intense. I was very, very nervous there, but it worked out perfectly for everybody. So we're going to head back to the rest of the pride. In the meantime, we're going to send you back to James.
I must confess, I think it must be a horribly traumatic time of life for a young male lion to experience what that fellow is. Especially as he doesn't have any brothers with whom to form a coalition. So if he's lucky, he'll find another wandering nomad, I suppose, and they too will form a coalition, the two of them. It does happen. Happens quite frequently. So it's not impossible, but shame. It must be dreadfully traumatic for him at the moment. must be hungry, he must be lonely, he must be confused. But slowly that will change, as all male lions who eventually take prides have to put up with it. A male leopard has come past here. No, I actually don't think it's like when males go to university for the first time. That's normally by choice. Their fathers don't push them out of home. Well, some do, but that's probably because they deserve it. And they go in a cohort. Human beings, elephants, they tend to go in a cohort. I mean, I guess that if he had brothers, he'd be going in a cohort, but I think it's a traumatic separation. I think it doesn't happen nearly as traumatically for human beings. I think where it does happen for human beings is not with males, but with women, especially in some older, more traditional societies where there are, marriages, and many societies around the world, men stay close to home and women leave home and are cut off from, all that was familiar. And I think for them, I suppose, it must be quite similar to the experience of that male lion. Anyway, male leopard tracks don't look particularly good, but they were heading in this general direction, so we'll do the same. Jane, you're an American wondering the difference between a hyena and a leopard track. I wish I could show you one. I'll keep an eye out. But basically, it's the shape. The shape, I mean, I've probably got a picture of one I can show you. Let me have a quick look on my mammal application. Leopard. So there's the leopard track, and what you're looking for there is the 3 lobes on the back. So if you've got a house cat, just go and pick your house cat up, flip it over, make sure it doesn't bite you, and look at its feet, and they'll look almost identical to this with the 3 lobes at the back. And the other thing you're looking for is how exploded the track is. So the toes are away from the pad. Can you see that? There's a gap. Now I'm going to go to the hyena. See if I can type hyena. I can. There's the hyena track. Now, I mean, that's a relatively accurate representation. You will normally see the claws in the hyena track, which you won't in the cat track. But you can see the back is very clearly 2-lobed. 1 or 2-lobed. There are 2 lobes, but sometimes you only see 1. And then the toes are much more kidney-shaped. They're not round like they are in a leopard track. And quite often, especially in softer substrates, so softer sand, you'll find that it's not exploded like that. You'll find that the toes are much more pinched up against the back pad. And after a little while, I mean, it would probably take about 3 weeks of driving around a reserve like this for you to figure out that, or how, you'd figure out very quickly that they don't look similar. And in fact, when you're driving along, they are 2 of the tracks that look most distinct from each other. So, I mean, I imagine it would take probably a while for you to distinguish between a bushbuck and an impala track, or a kudu and a waterbuck track. But it wouldn't take you long at all to distinguish between a hyena and a leopard track. They really look very different when they're on the ground. And so once your eyes have got used to looking at tracks and you've seen a few different kinds, you'd pick it up very quickly. Even if it's just a partial track, cut in half.
Join the Wild Earth YouTube Superfan community and unlock a world of additional perks. Get exclusive early access or discounts to Wild Earth travel deals. Wear the best bush attire with merchandising discounts. Enjoy an interactive live monthly private safari. Don't miss out on the ultimate fan experience. Join the YouTube Superfan community today. Are you ready for the adventure of a lifetime? Discover the magic of Africa with Wild Earth Travel. From a big cat safari to a jungle trek with gorillas, picture yourself floating down the Zambezi River or witnessing the breathtaking wildebeest migration. At Wild Earth Travel, we turn your bucket list into reality. Don't just dream it, live it. Plan your incredible life-changing journey with Wild Earth Travel today. Not everyone gets excited to hear a leopard chuff, spot a pangolin, or see a real impala rut. But if you are wild about the wild, you can become part of a community of like-minded nature lovers and share authentic wildlife experiences with the world. Join the Explorers Club and you will also enjoy the many benefits that come with it too. Wild Earth Explorers, it's in your nature.
Into Juma at Shabamu Road. Okay. Yes, they're on Juma. Just gonna, they're going to this pan, not Treehouse. There's another pan of water here. Aha, they're thirsty. Oh, ladies. Oh, so nice to have them on our property. How is this, Owen? Is this okay with my terrible parking? Yes, they have vegetation in front of their face, don't they? Let me roll forward. Oh, wow, look at that. Look at them sitting so close together, lapping up the water with their dirty faces. They're going to have to do some grooming. Let's just watch them for a moment. an incredible moment. I hope you all enjoyed that. We will follow them. And just an update, thank you, Michael. We have the youngest lioness here. The one that was right at the bottom of that diagram I showed you is actually Richnow's daughter and the tattered ear lioness. So the two lionesses that are here, the tattered ear and the youngest. One of them is still drinking. Can you see that? Let's keep listening. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Ladies are going to relax in the sun. I think I'm just going to reposition Tad's Owen. Bear with me, everyone. There's nothing behind me, is there, Owen? Angel, baby, generally, leopards and lions are quite meticulous groomers. So normally, hold on, how is this position? Okay, normally they will clean because one, parasites build up, flies will be attracted to their face. Immediately the flies are going to come to their face and it's going to irritate them. And also the smell. They don't really want to smell. Leopards are far more meticulous about their grooming than lions are. But essentially I would imagine they would clean their faces soon, or I really hope they clean their faces. Blood doesn't tend to stain, but they need to wipe it off. They need to get rid of it or the flies are going to be all over them. Don't be lazy, ladies. I'm really hoping they might actually lead us. Oh, she's getting annoyed already. Oh. She's trying to catch flies, everyone. If I was a fly, I'm not sure I would want to land on those jaws. I just hope the males come over and join them and then we can have spectacular views. Everyone, I am so happy right now. I've been waiting, and everyone's been waiting. James too, to show you this pride. I feel very bad for teasing James this morning. I was just joking. I had no idea we would find the lions. I feel so guilty now. I'll have to make him breakfast. We do tease each other a lot in camp. Oh no. Louise, please tell James I'm so sorry, and I'll do the fried eggs this morning. And as we sit and watch our lions begin the grooming, we are going to send you across to James and see how he feels about that.
I feel absolute rocks. I don't believe it for 1 second. I think that she's glorying in her rich vein of form, as she should be. As she should be. We are looking at the most common antelope on the reserve. And mercifully, he is standing still for us. There is a rattling testicular shouting at him to move away, to not be fooled into allowing us an actual mammal sighting. And I don't know if you can see, but on the one on the right-hand side, he's got a lot of bark in his horns, in the middle of his horns, and that's because he's been horning bushes. And part of this ridiculous pageant that is the impala rut is the extensive horning of bushes, apparently to either intimidate or leave a scent and somehow mark territory, but it is slightly ridiculous, I must confess. There we go, they've almost all disappeared. No, the one at the back you've still got there. Oh, thank you, Butterfly. You say it's a pretty sighting. Well, yes, I think it's quite a pretty sighting. It's audibly very pretty as well. The white-browed scrub robin. There's even a broad-bordered grass yellow butterfly flitting amongst the grasses. Not sure if you'll get that, David. Can you see it? There it is. And now as the heat begins to build and the cats go to sleep, so the chin spot Batiste begins to call. It really is quite remarkable how peaceful it is, especially if you've lived in the bush for a while and then you've gone back to a city to engage in a city job, which in my case was teaching the guitar to children who quite often didn't want to be taught anything. The difference between my Tuesday mornings in Johannesburg and my Tuesday mornings here could really not be more stark. The sense of peace I feel on a Tuesday morning on the western fringes of the Greater Limpopo Transfrontier Park, compared with the incredible sense of adrenaline and glucocorticoid-fueled stress that I felt fighting my way through the traffic to teach children how to play G major chord for the 6th week in a row, really doesn't compare. Even if I can't find a cat for love nor money, I'd still rather be doing this, I think. Poor old David. Don't worry, David. You'll have a cat again this afternoon. Right, let us go back to the northern cat finder, Mr. Sean at Ngala.
So these lions now. So what happened? The young male and the male, they headed up the bank. The other rangers went there. Nothing happened. They were just sort of having a stare off. And now that one Ross male is on his way back here. Since then, we have now joined up with the rest of the pride. So all of them are here. There are 13 lions here. And now they look like they're moving. So you can see them all spread out along here. Now they're getting up. Sun's coming out again. And they're moving. So we've just gone and parked over here. And we're going to wait. See where they go. See what they decide to do. Apparently that other Ross male is on his way here to come and join up with the others. His brother came back quite a while ago. He wasn't too interested in the fight, which is good. Intense few moments there. Tense few moments. These ones all seem pretty relaxed now though. So I checked, we got all 4 of the females that we're supposed to have. And there's just the young one back at her den somewhere. Look at this little one. So this is one of the younger ones. This is the youngest female. Now she's the sister of the young white female. don't know where exactly she's going, because now she's the leader at the moment in terms of she's right at the front. There's no other lions in front of her. The rest are all behind her. You can see them all spread out down here in the line, and they're watching her. She's now just gone to the other side of our car, but we're not going to move. We're going to stay where we are, because now, as we were saying the other day, the lions, they're going where they feel comfortable. You know, we will drive somewhere, we will stop, they will walk, and they will go where they feel comfortable going. So this little one, now she, the one that just walked past, she is 11 months. She's 11 months. And actually, the one in the screen, the closest one to us, the white one, that's her sister. And she's just standing on the other side of our car looking down the river. But this is very lucky for us. You know, remember earlier they were saying it's 21 degrees, there was a lot of mist at Juma, we had a bit of mist. But it's this cooler weather that is allowing us to witness this activity. See, that little white one was sleeping on a pile of elephant dung. Very old elephant dung. It's got that grey colour to it. Exactly, as Marcel says. It's just, if it's soft, it's the pillow. And that's exactly. It also looks like there's a few sticks and branches that she has her paws on over there. It's incredible now. You can see most of them lying fairly close to another lion. You know, they're staying social. We were saying earlier, these animals very, very social. That young male's going to be sad when he gets chased away. And it will be very interesting actually tonight on the afternoon drive to actually head back here and see if that young male has managed to rejoin the pride. Because like yesterday, last night, the young male and the two Ross males were all together and it was fine. But just this morning, that one Ross male was just like, nope, I'm tired of you. Chase him away. So it'll be interesting to see if tonight he manages to come back with the pride. I don't think they're going to be here. They're going to get up and they're going to move. You can see them. They're breathing quite heavily. Look at the lioness in the front. Open mouth. She's panting a bit. She's getting hot. She's getting hot. They're just sitting here in the open. I think relatively soon they're going to get up and maybe head into some shade. Hopefully walk further down the river.
We should probably prepare to move fairly quickly.
Wild Earth presents Safari Spotlight, your front row seat to the wonders of the wild. Join our expert naturalists each week as they guide you on an unforgettable journey through the heart of nature.
Looks like this female came out here.
What a privilege to be here.
Subscribe to the Wild Earth YouTube channel and never miss a moment of the adventure. Wild Earth, connecting with nature. Get ready for an adventure of a lifetime. Wild Earth Travel is proud to launch a brand new grand tour. Backed by popular demand, join us for an unforgettable experience where you'll meet Wild Earth presenters from past and present, participate in an exclusive rhino conservation project, and even take a masterclass in wildlife filming. And of course, you'll get up close and personal with your favorite animal characters. Book your spot now and dive into the wild with Wild Earth Travel. Do you sometimes imagine what Wild Earth would be like without adverts? A chance to properly immerse yourself in nature without any interruptions. Sign up to be an explorer for a small monthly fee and you can truly escape into the wilderness. Ad-free viewing is now available on our app as well as on our website. Wild Earth, it's in your nature.
The mothers have stopped producing the milk. Which is good. Well, I mean, these lines are big. So we got a question from Sassy Cassie. Sassy Cassie wants to know if these white lions will get darker if they spend more time sunbathing. Sassy Cassie, they will not get darker if they suntan. If they roll around in dead buffalo juice, they will get darker. But sitting in the sun will not make them darker. It's not like, you know, for people where you can just sit in the sun and your skin gets darker. Their fur will always be like this. You know, they have those darker pigments as we saw behind the ear on the tail. They have those darker patches. And those may get darker as these lions get older. Those patches might get darker. But the rest of their fur will stay this white color. It's a good idea to maybe Google if you Google the other male, the other white lion in northern Sabi Sands, and he's a bit older. I think he's like 4 or 5 years old, and have a look at his color, and then you know get an idea of what these ones will look like when they do get older. But in the meantime, while we just have these ones resting here, if they do get up, we'll come back. But in the meantime, it looks like they're sleeping. We're going to send you back to Lauren, who's got those lionesses that we're drinking earlier.
We're actually doing a big loop. You don't have to bear with us. We went up the termite mound. Just looking at it, it was perfect. I hope you can hear me now. Can you all hear me? Yes. Sometimes my audio just decides not to work. You know. Nothing can go so smoothly, ever. So yes, we're doing a big loop round. We had them positioned up the termite mound perfectly, but of course this is such a busy morning, you can't see everything. Now they've gone flat. So we're just doing a big, ginormous loop in order to get a better view of their faces rather than their bottoms. I'm not sure we're actually going to get a look at any of their faces. Karen, most predators are adapted for the life of famine, feast and famine. They don't always have guaranteed food. I'll just go here and we can get this lady. Hello, fatty. You are full. This is a normal lifestyle for a predator. So sometimes they go days with nothing, and in other times they will have food everywhere. And of course they gorge themselves. Look at that tummy. That is a full belly. Same with leopards. Dogs and cheetah don't tend to do it so much because they need to rely on running. But essentially it's a life of feast or famine, and they're used to it. So lions, of course, can eat and eat. And eat, I think it's 20%, up to 20% of their own body weight. And that's how much they can eat in one sitting. Yeah, we are not loving the fly action. But of course it's important to drink too. Now normally predators actually get a lot of their hydration from blood in a carcass, but a wildebeest essentially is definitely not as big as a buffalo, and there was 2 male avokas there, so I'm wondering if they maybe didn't get as much as they'd hoped to get from that kill, and therefore they came here to lap up all the water and hydrate, and I imagine they will sleep most of the day. I just hope they're going to meet up with the rest of the pride and the cubs. Look, you are 7 years old from Zimbabwe. Possibly, yes. Absolutely. I think they're full. Well, this one is definitely full. She's bulging. She's uncomfortable. They get to a state where they're actually really, really uncomfortable. And essentially, they've maybe walked 100 meters away from the kill. Would you agree with that, Owen? Yeah. 300 feet? And yes, they'll go back. Absolutely. The avocas may come here, but they'll go back. They haven't gone too far and they've came straight to water. Now, the other lioness is actually in front of us. We just don't have a view of her at all at the minute. And although the lionesses drank for a really long time, this is interesting. Cats in general are not the most efficient drinkers. And it takes them a long time to quench their thirst. And it's all to do with the physics. Their tongue doesn't bend like a ladle or a spoon shape to lap up the water as it does in some dogs. They actually have a real hydrodynamic problem to solve. And essentially, a cat's tongue, including a leopard, a lion, domestic cat, Feliday's tongue is very raspy. It has it's really rough. If you were to touch it, I'm sure all you cat owners know it's like sandpaper. And essentially, this is very, very useful in grooming. And it's also very useful when they're licking meat, especially your top predators. But at the very, very tip of the tongue, I'll show you a photo in a moment. I need to find it first. The very, very tip is completely smooth. It's not rough at all. And this is to assist with drinking, because otherwise, how on earth would they be able to get all that water into their mouth at one time? So the special little spines on their tongue are actually hollow, and they're called filiform papillae. That's the sort of proper name, but essentially they're just little spines on the fur. Thought to be entirely for grooming, but that's not the case. So cats are not able to suck. They don't have the ability to suck like we do. We can put a straw in our mouth and we can suck. We can also put a can of Coca-Cola to our mouth and suck. Cats really, really can't do it. So they have to have a special mechanism to get water from a water body like this one against gravity and into their mouths. And essentially what they do is they lap so fast, their tongue darts in and out so fast that the human eye can't really follow what's going on. You would need a camera in slow-mo. And they extend their tongue straight down, vertical, and they don't bend it like a spoon. And just at the very, very end of the tongue where it's smooth, they're going to curl it backwards, not forwards in the shape of a spoon, but backwards. And then they're going to dart their tongue back in as quickly as possible. And the reason they do that is to overcome gravity. So the water essentially sticks on all these spines, and they're defying gravity by moving their tongue so fast that they're essentially getting water into their mouth, and it's not much. Domestic cats are said to get around 0.1 milliliter of liquid per lap. That's a domestic cat. Obviously a lion is going to have a much bigger tongue, but essentially they're said to do around 4 laps per second, domestic cats. So if you do that mathematics, which I am not great at, essentially a domestic cat is going to get about 24 mils a minute. And that's about 5 teaspoons. That's not that much water, everyone. Really, for lapping your tongue, darting it in and out of your mouth 4 times a second, you're only getting 5 small teaspoons of water in a minute. And that's why they lap for so long. So essentially, cats are better at physics than dogs are. Dogs just curl their tongue forward like a spoon. And we once watched Purple Eye drink at Gallagher Pan, and we counted. I was with guests from Legends Safaris, and we counted, and I'll never forget this number. She darted her tongue in and out of the water 682 times in one sitting. So although you asked how can they hold that much water in their tummies after eating, it's a great question, because essentially they're not getting that much water, if that makes sense. They've got to drink and drink and lap and lap and lap. If you look at a cat, you'll see a lot of the water falls back off the tongue. So they have hydrodynamic issues, and they've got to really defy gravity to get the water into their mouth, and it's minimal amounts. So essentially they need to lap that tongue and drink for a very long time. Isn't that fascinating? You're not happy, are you? I wouldn't be happy with flies either. Chris, I don't actually know where the pride are, but essentially lions can find one another by scent, and they can also find one another by communication vocally. They contact call, and I think possibly Sean's lions were doing it earlier. It's the most beautiful sound, just soft. And a lioness is very soft and short, but they're contacting to one another, and they wait for a response. It's like Marco, Polo, Marco, Polo, Marco, Polo, until they eventually find one another. That's the best example I can think to use. But they can also follow one another by scent. And of course, they may all meet up at that carcass. I'm really, really not sure.
Join the Wild Earth YouTube Superfan community and unlock a world of additional perks. Get exclusive early access or discounts to Wild Earth travel deals. Wear the best bush attire with merchandising discounts. Enjoy an interactive live monthly private safari. Don't miss out on the ultimate fan experience. Join the YouTube Superfan community today. Are you ready for the adventure of a lifetime? Discover the magic of Africa with Wild Earth Travel. From a big cat safari to a jungle trek with gorillas, picture yourself floating down the Zambezi River or witnessing the breathtaking wildebeest migration. At Wild Earth Travel, we turn your bucket list into reality. Don't just dream it, live it. Plan your incredible life-changing journey with Wild Earth Travel today. Did you know that the Wild Earth team makes weekly behind the safari content? Would you like to get to know the Wild Earth family better? See how we live.
This is Eagle's bedroom.
Learn about our production process. And see the antics that happen off camera. Sign up to be an explorer and you will get access to all this content and more.
A question from Karen, I think, Karen, wanting to know how many wild lions there are in South Africa. Karen, I don't actually know. I know in the wild, like these two that we have here, sort of in the wild, natural, like we have, there are 3. But I think across South Africa, there are quite a number of them. There's another lodge, I don't know if you heard me saying, but another lodge I used to go to growing up, which is about 3 hours from Cape Town, called Sanborna. They have wild lions there. They were introduced into the area. Their parents were from, I don't know, zoos or captive areas that they then sort of wilded. And they got wild lions. And so there's quite a number in lion parks and things like that of wild lions. The exact figure, though, Karen, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Not very many, but you'd have to possibly Google that, or I'll Google it this afternoon. We got a question from Be Kind. wanting to know if here at Beyond Ngala, if we do any medical intervention for the animals. She was speaking specifically to the white one with his injured eye that you can actually see there in the screen. Now, be kind, we do not know. That is a natural injury. He got in a fight with maybe one of his siblings or one of the bigger males while they were feeding on the buffalo, most likely. And it's a natural injury. It's lion on lion. It is what it is. You know, as I was saying, when we saw that Ross male heading towards that young male, if they had actually got physical and there was a proper confrontation and that young male would have got injured, either of them could have got badly injured, we don't do anything. You just sit and you watch. You got to detach yourself emotionally from a situation like that and just actually watch what's happening. But if we interfere, be kind, and we save every lion or every leopard, impala, giraffe, whatever it may be, there's an imbalance. You know, nature, we're doing this for countless thousands of years. Nature has its own balance. It works itself out. And if we interfere, we ruin that balance. So as hard as it is not to help the animals, you know, to know we can fix that problem, you know, in half an hour really easily and it will survive. Much as we know we can do that, we can't. We shouldn't. You know, if it's a natural injury, be kind. There are places in, I think, sort of Kenya, maybe some parts of Botswana, where some lodges will interfere, especially if it is an endangered animal. They will interfere and help. But here, we don't do anything like that. If an animal has a snare, or it's been shot, or a car hit it, something like that, a human-caused problem, then we might interfere. You know, if one of these lions walked through a trap and got a snare around its neck, you know, then we would help. But anything natural, you just got to let it play out. Which is definitely one of the hardest parts of the job. Be kind. You watch during the droughts, during the winter, where there's no water, there's no grass, and you see the animals struggling. Or the water holes are drying up and there's just mud everywhere. And right in the middle, there's a little puddle of water. And you see impalas trying to get to that water and their skinny legs just slip down into the mud and they get stuck. And you're like, I could go in there and help it. But you can't. You just got to let it happen. And it's hard. It's hard, but it's a tough world out here. That's how it goes. Things die, things eat them, things survive. And that's how it goes. But you can see these ones are sleeping. We're actually going to leave them. We see what else we can find. In the meantime, sounds like Lauren has found one of the dominant male lions on Juma.
We have Mohawk. Everyone meet the Avoca Mohawk. I'm just going to quickly jump on the radio. Give me 2 seconds. Sorry, Pippa, I just went live there. 2 lionesses are just at the Shibamu junction off Gowrie Main, and one of the Avocas is on Gowrie Main. I hope she copied that. So yes, this is one of our Avocas. We call him Mohawk because, well, he looks like he's got a mohawk. He's also got slightly crazy eyes. He's a rebel of them all. And Blondie must still be in there at this wildebeest. But yes, he's a epic male lion, and he's right on the southern boundary now, so we can view him. Now, we've just heard there's 4 lionesses from the pride up this way, so we just want to give you a view of our male here, and then we're going to race and see if we can catch up with the rest of the pride. I haven't actually heard any news on cubs, but we're going to try and see if we can catch up with the rest of the females. Pippa, come in for Lauren. Hello, handsome. You don't look too handsome right now, to be honest. Yes, you need to clean. I'm just going to try Pippa one more time. Pippa, do you copy? Okay,
I gave her the update, Lauren, not to worry, I don't think.
Copy. Thank you. Okay, there we go. I would love to give you a view of Blondie, but I think he's right in there, and therefore we're going to have to race to the females. Hi, Mohawk. Cross into Juma. He's crossing into Juma. There you go. Look at him walking into Juma to join the ladies. We have a question from someone from Edinburgh. Louise, I'll just get you to repeat the name and the question, sorry. Lewis, you're from Edinburgh, my hometown, and you're 6 years old, and you are asking, do male lions protect female lions from leopards? A leopard would never attack a female lion. I can tell you, Lewis, lions are much, much bigger than leopards, substantially so, even the females. And I'm going to continue answering your question, Lewis, but we're going to bumble down for the females and try and see if we can catch up with them. So yes, leopards are actually much smaller. You wouldn't believe it, and they're solitary. Leopards have got to keep themselves safe. If they risk an injury, Lewis, then they're never going to be able to survive out here. They've only got themselves. They don't have a pride, they don't have a coalition, and therefore you would really never ever see a male leopard going for a female lioness. That would not happen. But would the male lions protect the females from threats? Potentially, yes. If there was a bigger threat coming in, i.e. another pride, they may get involved, but they also may not. I'll come back to that point. There's lots more to say, Lewis, but as I race to find the other lionesses, we're going to send you guys back across to James.
We should probably prepare to move fairly quickly.
Wild Earth presents Safari Spotlight, your front row seat to the wonders of the wild. Join our expert naturalists each week as they guide you on an unforgettable journey through the heart of nature.
Looks like this female came out here.
What a privilege to be here.
Subscribe to the Wild Earth YouTube channel and never miss a moment of the adventure. Wild Earth, connecting with nature. Get ready for an adventure of a lifetime. Wild Earth Travel is proud to launch a brand new grand tour. Backed by popular demand, join us for an unforgettable experience where you'll meet Wild Earth presenters from past and present, participate in an exclusive rhino conservation project, and even take a masterclass in wildlife filming. And of course, you'll get up close and personal with your favorite animal characters. Book your spot now and dive into the wild with Wild Earth Travel. Stay up to date with the latest happenings at Wild Earth. Discover what goes on behind the scenes and get a weekly recap of the best moments on the channel.
He's got it, and he's straight up a tree.
Sign up to be an explorer and receive our newsletter written just for you and sent straight to your inbox every week. Wild Earth Explorers, a club for people who are passionate about nature.
Thank you for joining us and have a fantastic morning.
And they are just quietly foraging in amongst the grass, which has been cut, of course, because this is a firebreak area. Sunny Bat, you want to know what the sweetest birding bird song is in the park? Well, there are a few. I always talk about the white-browed scrub robin being one of my favorites. Then I quite like the southern boo-boo as well, which goes doo. Always reminds me of Christmas holidays. Maybe that's why I find it sweet. The other really nice one, which I'll play for you now, is the green pigeon. And I think the green pigeon's got a beautiful call. Here it goes. It sounds a little bit like Tarzan. It's a really nice call. That's the green pigeon. So I think that's definitely one of the sweetest calls. And what else makes a really nice call? The hoop-hoop. Whoop-whoop. Whoop-whoop. And then the grey heron's also got a beautiful call, and I'll make it. It goes like this. Which, I mean, I think is quite a sweet call. If you like, perhaps you're a sort of metalhead, that might be the sweetest call for you. Kylie, you say there's a mohawk on that hornbill, and that it's very cool. Yeah, they do actually. I'm not sure I've ever properly noticed that before. Yeah, they've all got that little mohawk. Well spotted. They are quite cool. David, maybe you should get a mohawk.
Maybe.
I would, but I can't anymore. I just have a stripe down the back of my head, which would look silly. Although, come to think of it, maybe that's what I should do. Half a mohawk, the half hawk. Oh, and there's another very sweet bird called the grey-headed bushshrike, going right now, and it goes like this. And the only reason that it's possibly not on my list of the sweetest things is that it's quite an angry, predatory bird, shrike, and it will basically take anything that's smaller than it. That's fair enough for the bird, but it kind of lessens the sweetness, if you like, of its call. And Louise just saying the orange-breasted bushshrike is nice. Yes, it is. Well, that was enough, dude. I think we shall continue now. Song. Apparently, our signal is not great. We're now going to go to the morning's unquestionable highlight.
So perfect timing by the universe for James to lose some signal, because Marcel is itching to tell us his fact of the day. Marcel?
Thanks. So my fact for today is the largest musical instrument to be constructed by men, or by mankind, is the Boardwalk Hall Auditorium organ at 33,112 pipes. This organ was constructed by the Midmer-Losh Organ Company, but it's not the largest fully functional pipe organ. That would go to the Wanamaker Grand Court organ in Macy's department store in New York. And that's got 28,750 pipes that are 100% functioning, and they even do concerts over Christmas time. And that was built by the W.W. Kimball Organ Company. Yeah.
Very cool. So for all of you musicians out there, there's a great fact. What surprises me or impresses me is the fact that Marcel just says these things out of his head. Like, he doesn't read, he doesn't research, he doesn't sit on his phone and tell you from his phone. He just stands and he's like, this, and this. It's quite impressive, sometimes better than the fact even. I don't know much about organs. I've seen them on Pirates of the Caribbean. The one guy has an organ. That's as much as I know. But what we're doing, driving down the river, having a look, seeing if we can find signs of anything else. Apparently there are tracks of a herd of buffalo moving up and down this area. Some of the rangers are having a look there, seeing if they can find them. We are just having a look. There's a little water hole. I don't know if you can see over my head here. Off to the right over there's a bit of water. But nothing has come down for a drink. Or nothing recently at least. But it's always good to check, because now the sun's starting to come out a little bit more. It's starting to get a bit warmer. So we should start to see animals coming down to drink now before it gets too hot. Maybe a bit more activity from those prey species, the wildebeests, impalas, elephants, buffaloes, things like that. Making their moves up and down. There's also along here, the river. This is one of the great things about having a dry river, is that you can drive it. And lots of bushes that provide a lot of shade. We've got a question from Elizabeth, wanting to know about us guides and how do we work the whole year. So Elizabeth, yes, we do. We work the whole year. What I think everyone in South Africa, well, the majority of guides, we work on a 6-week cycle. So we do 6 weeks on and then we get 2 weeks off. So on those 6 weeks, you will work 7 days a week, and then you get your 2 weeks off. And those 6 weeks, you stay on the property. We have a little staff village, what we call it, and that's where you will live. And then on your 2 weeks, just depends what you want to do, where you go. Because anything shorter, you know, we're so remote, Elizabeth, that, you know, you come out here, you can't come here for a week. You know, if I worked Monday to Friday and had the weekends off, it would be a bit silly. You know, it takes me a day to get to Joburg. So working 6 weeks, you here, you move in, you do your stint, and then you get a lot of time off. 2 weeks is fairly long. You need to travel somewhere, visit loved ones, girlfriends, boyfriends, families, things like that. You have the time. It's hard. 6 weeks is a long time. But it's doing this. That is very true, Karen. A little comment, I'm assuming, on our YouTube, saying you don't need Siri when Marcella's around. And that is very true. Quite often, Marcel regales us with stories and facts while we're cooking dinner. And we're like, I wonder what that is. And Marcel's like, this is what it is. Which is quite nice for us. But yeah, look, working here, it's wonderful. You know, it's not normal jobs. So we're just laughing. There's another comment apparently from Luke. I'm assuming he's in the States. He wants to know if he can reprogram his Alexa Google thing to respond to, you know, hello Marcel. Luke, if you do manage to do that, please let us know. I would like to see a video of that. I'm sure Marcel will throw it up on his Instagram. But you can see we're sticking again now to these thick areas, more trees, more shade, more cover. The comments are just flying in about Marcel. Marcel, the fans love you. The fans love you. And that's the thing, you know, it's so nice doing something like this. You know, with all of you guys online who are watching every day or however often you watch for a long time. And, you know, for me, I found it quite different to obviously the normal guiding, where you get new guests every 3 days, every 4 days, you get new people, and you're telling them the same stories over and over again every few days. You know, with you guys, you've heard some of the stories, and it becomes, you know, a lot more personal. You can get to know Marcel, and it's more of a relationship like this, which is really nice. Something different for me, you know, something different, which is good. Get to know you online people. Sassy Cassie asks us a lot of questions. Sassy, I think I've answered quite a few of yours. It's nice getting to know the viewers a bit. Keeps us entertained. Keeps us happy doing something like this. If you guys are having fun, we're having fun. It looks like the animals are going to bed. We got a lovely comment from, I believe it's Sub Hanker, saying thank you, and he's enjoying the experience, you know, from us here at and beyond Ngala, as well as the whole team back at Juma. And thank you. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. You know, I'm sure I speak for the Juma team as well. And the comments that we get from you guys on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, on our Instagram pages, it's all really nice, guys. So thank you for the comments and the encouragement. We do appreciate it. We do appreciate it. A couple of Impala back behind us, but I think because we're still fairly close to the lions. The lions are down the river, maybe 1.5 kilometers, 2 kilometers, and a lot of the prey species would have heard them calling earlier this morning when they were roaring, and they're just sort of keeping their distance a bit. Well, there's not too much in this area. Even the birds seem to have disappeared. Almost didn't make it up the hill. But we're going to go past another waterhole and see maybe there's some warthogs, something coming down there. Oh, okay, very interesting. Sounds like James has found a nice reptile. So we're going to send you back outside while we carry on driving.
Yes, David managed to spot this beautiful water monitor list sitting on top of a log. I always find their colours so amazing. Oh, there's another one. It's even more beautiful. Can you see it there, Darv? Bottom left of the log. I don't know if you can get him. I'm just going to try and sneak forward. He's got the most amazing colours. I think he's a youngster. Either that or he's molting. See there.
Join the Wild Earth YouTube Superfan community and unlock a world of additional perks. Get exclusive early access or discounts to Wild Earth travel deals. Wear the best bush attire with merchandising discounts. Enjoy an interactive live monthly private safari. Don't miss out on the ultimate fan experience. Join the YouTube Superfan community today. Are you ready for the adventure of a lifetime? Discover the magic of Africa with Wild Earth Travel. From a big cat safari to a jungle trek with gorillas, picture yourself floating down the Zambezi River or witnessing the breathtaking wildebeest migration. At Wild Earth Travel, we turn your bucket list into reality. Don't just dream it, live it. Plan your incredible life-changing journey with Wild Earth Travel today. Chatting around the fire is an ancient practice that has connected humanity for centuries, and we want to keep it alive in our modern age. As an explorer, you'll have access to intimate gatherings with our naturalists, fascinating guests, and experts where we share knowledge, insights, and stories around a crackling fire. Rediscover the power of connection. Sign up to be an explorer today and experience the magic of Wild Earth's Fireside Chats.
They are not dark tranquility. That's why I said it's not like they can lose their tails. So no, I don't think they can. Oh, I know they can't drop their tails and grow them back again. So I think that tail is that long because it is a weapon. Looks like a perfect place to be basking in the sun. There's nothing more than a lion. There's nothing more that a lion likes to do than bask in the sun on a cool day.
Well done, James. I'm glad you got that one out. That was good. I shall make sure Mr. Hendry gets his cat in the afternoon, so I can't call him my catless friend anymore. Yes, I don't think he liked that one. I do feel really, really bad. Hopefully these lions will stay here. They're on Juma, but we're right next to the boundary line. Right next to it, but they are sitting on Juma. 2 lionesses and a male. So I will make sure James will no longer be my catless friend, and he will be my cat-fooled friend. Oh dear. Oh dear. So we raced ahead to find the rest of the pride because we were really hoping to introduce the new viewers to the rest of the pride and the cubs, but sadly we had no luck. We absolutely raced, but we didn't make it. So we've got Mohawk here. Blondie is, well, I imagine he's probably fallen asleep on top of the wildebeest. We have not seen him. But I am overjoyed that we got the Nkuhumas, and you saw that all happen. We stopped for a butterfly, because sometimes my right ear is blocked with the most beautiful tones of my darling Louise. I'm not complaining about that at all, but of course it does affect your hearing on the right side. Then of course you have the noise of the engine. And sometimes we must remember to stop and turn off the engines more often. We must. And of course we did, to admire my striped policeman, and then we could hear crunching. It sounded like an elephant at first to me, but then immediately I said, that's not an elephant. Owen actually thought it was a hyena crunching on some bones. And of course, it was it was 2 ladies from the Nkuhuma Pride, Tattered-Eared Lioness and the youngest lioness, and the 2 avokas. Sassy Cassie, good to hear from you. I hope your cat is well. Give it a hug from me. I really do not know how many pounds a lion can gain in one day, but I think it's a lot. I really, really think they can eat almost 20% of their body weight. Their stomachs are designed in such a way to really, really stretch. So I do not know how many pounds or kilograms they can put on, but it's a lot. And they're not entirely full. The 2 ones that are sleeping are actually, I've seen them a lot fuller than this. It was just a wildebeest. I have seen them eat far more than what they ate this morning, and they're not. Mohawk is so needy. He is such a needy lion. He always has to be next to the females or cuddling Blondie. He's not an independent wee sausage. Is that an injury on his hip, Owen? Can we just go close to his back left hip quickly? Yes, it is. Ouchie. Mohawk, you look after yourself. Oh, everyone, what a drive. It has been action-packed from start to finish. Well, at least from Sean and I. Oh, I'm only joking. It's been an absolute pleasure having you all on board, and we really hope that you'll join us again this afternoon and that we shall have our Nkahumas. Have a great day.